Africa. The name itself evokes images of vast savannas teeming with life. We see majestic lions and thundering herds of elephants, but this vibrant continent holds a story far older than any creature that walks its surface. It is a story written in stone, etched over millions of years. Africa's very existence is a testament to the awesome power of geological forces that shape our planet. To truly understand Africa, we must journey back to a time when the Earth was young. Imagine a time before continents as we know them existed. The landmasses were joined together in a massive supercontinent. This was Gondwana, and from its heart, Africa would rise. The story of Africa is inseparable from the story of Gondwana. Over eons, this supercontinent fractured and drifted apart, driven by the relentless movement of tectonic plates. These plates, massive pieces of the Earth's crust, are in constant motion, colliding, grinding, and pulling apart. Africa's journey is far from over. Even today, the continent is on the move, shaped by the same forces that birthed it. The East African Rift Valley, a vast scar in the Earth's surface, is a testament to Africa's dynamic nature. Volcanic activity has played a crucial role in shaping Africa's landscape, creating mountains and fertile soils. Erosion, driven by wind and water, continues to sculpt the continent, carving out valleys and shaping its diverse terrains. The layers of sedimentary rock tell a story of ancient seas and shifting climates, recording the passage of time. From the fiery birth of its mountains to the slow erosion of its plains, Africa's geological history is a testament to the forces that continue to shape our world. To comprehend the scale of geological time is a humbling endeavor. Imagine time compressed into a single year. On this scale, Africa's story begins in the earliest hours of New Year's Day. Gondwana, the supercontinent that held Africa captive, dominated the Earth's surface for millions upon millions of years. About 180 million years ago, in our compressed year, sometime in late September, Gondwana began to break apart. This was no cataclysmic event, but a slow, drawn-out process. Imagine a giant jigsaw puzzle slowly being pulled apart, piece by piece. The breakup of Gondwana was driven by the relentless forces of plate tectonics. As these massive plates shifted and collided, they created immense stress points in the Earth's crust. Volcanoes erupted, spewing molten rock and ash into the atmosphere. Earthquakes ripped through the land, reshaping the landscape in an instant. As Gondwana continued to fragment, Africa began to take shape. But its journey was far from over. The continent would continue to drift and rotate, its climate and geography evolving over millions of years. Gondwana's breakup was a complex process involving the separation of landmasses that would eventually form the continents we know today. The formation of the Indian Ocean was a direct result of this breakup, creating new oceanic rift zones. These geological processes laid the foundation for Africa's unique landscapes and rich geological history. The East African Rift System is one of the most impressive geological features on Earth. Stretching over 4,000 miles, this vast scar cuts through Eastern Africa from north to south, a testament to the immense power of plate tectonics. The rift began forming about 30 million years ago, in our compressed year around mid-December. The African plate is slowly splitting apart, creating a depression in the Earth's surface. This rift valley is a land of dramatic contrasts, with towering volcanoes, deep lakes, and vast savannas. As the plates continue to pull apart, magma rises from the Earth's mantle, creating volcanoes and pushing the land upwards. This process has given rise to some of Africa's most iconic landmarks, including Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Kenya, and the Rwenzori Mountains. The Rift Valley is also home to a chain of lakes, including Lake Victoria, the largest lake in Africa. These lakes are not only important sources of fresh water, but also hotspots of biodiversity, teeming with unique species of fish, birds, and other wildlife. The rift continues to shape the African continent, both physically and biologically. The formation of the Atlas Mountains in the northwest is another result of tectonic activity, where the African and Eurasian plates collide. River systems like the Nile have carved their way through the continent, shaping valleys and providing vital water resources. Desertification, particularly in the Sahara, has transformed vast regions into arid landscapes, influenced by climatic changes and human activity. These geological processes have collectively sculpted Africa's diverse and dynamic landscape, making it a continent of unparalleled natural beauty. The East African Rift Valley is not only a site of geological wonder but also the cradle of humanity. It was here in the heart of Africa that our earliest ancestors first took their tentative steps out of the trees and onto the savanna. The Rift Valley provided the perfect environment for human evolution. The changing climate and varied landscape created challenges that favored the development of intelligence, adaptability, and social cooperation. Fossil evidence suggests that the earliest hominids, our ancient ancestors, emerged in Africa around 6 to 7 million years ago. Over millions of years, these early humans evolved and diversified, giving rise to a succession of species including Australopithecus afarensis, Homo habilis, and Homo erectus. The Rift Valley has yielded a treasure trove of fossils and artifacts that have revolutionized our understanding of human evolution. From the famous Lucy skeleton to the Letterly footprints, these discoveries provide a glimpse into the lives of our distant ancestors. Section 5. Echoes of Empires, Ancient African Civilizations. Africa's story is not just about geological formations and early hominids. It's also a story of great civilizations that rose and fell, leaving behind a rich tapestry of cultures, languages, and traditions. Long before the arrival of Europeans, Africa was home to powerful empires, sophisticated societies, and centers of learning. In the northeast corner of Africa, the ancient Egyptians built one of the most influential civilizations in human history. The pyramids, temples, and tombs they left behind stand as a testament to their ingenuity, architectural prowess, and complex beliefs about the afterlife. Further south, in the Sahel region, the Kingdom of Kush flourished for over 1,000 years, controlling trade routes and developing its own unique form of writing. West Africa saw the rise of powerful empires like Ghana, Mali, and Songhai, which controlled the trans-Saharan trade in gold, salt, and other valuable commodities. These are just a few examples of the many civilizations that thrived in Africa before the arrival of Europeans. These societies developed complex systems of governance, religion, art, and trade, leaving an indelible mark on human history. Section 6. A Continent Divided. The Shadow of Colonization. The arrival of Europeans in Africa in the 15th century marked a turning point in the continent's history. What began as coastal trading posts gradually morphed into a scramble for land and resources, culminating in the Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885, where European powers carved up Africa amongst themselves with little regard for existing ethnic or cultural boundaries. This period of colonization had a profound and often devastating impact on Africa. Colonial powers exploited Africa's resources, disrupted traditional economies, and imposed their own systems of governance, education, and religion. Millions of Africans were subjected to forced labor, discriminatory laws, and brutal treatment. Traditional social structures were undermined, and ancient kingdoms and empires were dismantled. The psychological scars of colonialism, including the loss of identity, dignity, and self-determination, continue to affect many African nations today. The legacy of colonialism continues to cast a long shadow over Africa. The arbitrary borders drawn by colonial powers have often led to ethnic tensions and conflicts. Economic exploitation and unequal trade relations have hampered development in many countries. Section 7. Freedom's Dawn. The Rise of Independence Movements. Despite the oppressive nature of colonial rule, the spirit of resistance never truly died in Africa. The 20th century witnessed a wave of independence movements across the continent as Africans rose up to demand self-determination and an end to colonial rule. From Algeria to Zimbabwe, Africans fought for their freedom, often against overwhelming odds. These movements were fueled by a potent mix of nationalism, Pan-Africanism, and a deep-seated desire for self-governance. Ghana, under the leadership of Kwame Nkrumah, became the first sub-Saharan African country to achieve independence in 1957. This event had a domino effect, inspiring other African nations to intensify their own struggles for liberation. By the end of the 1960s, most of Africa had gained independence. However, the transition to self-rule was often fraught with challenges, including political instability, economic difficulties, and ethnic tensions. Section 8. Into the Future, Challenges and Opportunities. As Africa enters the 21st century, it faces a unique set of challenges and opportunities. The continent is home to some of the world's fastest-growing economies, but it also faces persistent poverty, inequality, and conflict. Climate change poses a significant threat to Africa, with rising temperatures, droughts, and floods already impacting food security, water resources, and human health. The continent is also grappling with rapid population growth, urbanization, and the spread of infectious diseases. Despite these challenges, there is also a sense of optimism and hope in Africa. The continent has a young and growing population, abundant natural resources, and a vibrant entrepreneurial spirit. Technological innovation is transforming various sectors, from agriculture to healthcare. Africa has the potential to become a major player on the global stage. However, realizing this potential will require addressing deep-seated challenges, investing in education and infrastructure, promoting good governance, and fostering sustainable development. Section 9. Africa Rising. A continent of promise and potential. Africa's journey is far from over. The continent that rose from the heart of Gondwana, cradled humanity in its Rift Valley, and endured the trials of colonization is now writing a new chapter in its story. This is a chapter filled with challenges, to be sure, but also with immense promise and potential. Africa is a continent of contrasts, a place where ancient traditions coexist alongside modern technology, where poverty and affluence rub shoulders, and where hope and despair often intermingle. But amidst these complexities lies a vibrant tapestry of cultures, a spirit of resilience, and an unyielding determination to forge a better future. The world is watching as Africa takes its place on the global stage. The decisions made in the coming decades will shape the continent's destiny and have far-reaching consequences for the rest of the world. If Africa can harness its potential, embrace innovation, and overcome its challenges, it has the opportunity to become a beacon of hope and progress for the 21st century and beyond. The journey ahead may be long and arduous, but the spirit of Africa, forged over millions of years, is more than up to the task.